We just covered vocational coverage at two different times. And now I will share a video clip with you that will talk about benefits as it relates to brand attributes. And then I will spend a considerable amount of time with core values. Core values are so important and they are foundational to building what I call your brand roots or your brand architecture. So I'll pull in some content from my Rebirth You masterclass on personal values and share that with you. And so I just want you to know that we'll focus on that first. And you'll see two video clips right now, and then I'll come back and talk about core values. I'll walk you through certain steps to develop your own before moving on to the purpose statement. Benefits in personal branding for emerging executives refer to what is offered to the target audience, meaning your internal stakeholders, in terms of value. If your work product results in a stellar reputation for your department or number one sales status, for example, then document it. In brand management in general, benefits come in three packages: functional, emotional, and self-expressive. Functional benefits refer to tangible benefits of experiencing the brand. In the case of personal branding, this could refer to the outcomes of your work, like cost savings or efficiency. It's important to focus on what outcomes you achieve and not merely the processes you use to arrive at these outcomes. Emotional benefits refer to how the brand makes people feel. So when people work with you, do they feel relieved, satisfied, safe? So these are types of things you should think about. And then self-expressive benefits refers to how the brand communicates its self-image and symbolizes their customer self-concept. It is most concerned with what does your brand say about your customers. So for example, because I know this one is a little different than the other two. For example, if Sheila works with Byron and Byron is the emerging executive, she is smart, or Sheila is smart, because Byron has a strong track record of success and process improvement and UX design. 96% of high performance employees agree that a great company culture can be a source of energy, enabling you to achieve big things. 80% of high performance employees have left a company specifically because of its culture. Having solid core values that are true to you and your brand creates a culture that makes working with your company worthwhile. Remember that people join cultures, not companies. So we are working together now to make sure that your culture will increase your brand equity and create the magical pull of branding to draw and keep future employees. So we've learned about core values and how having them creates a solid culture. When developing your authentic personal brand, I would encourage you to work with a coach to determine your personal core values using a reliable human assessment instrument. According to Lynn Ellsworth Taylor of the Core Values Handbook, when you uncover who you are and your true, innate, unchanging self, you will work with a greater sense of purpose. You will also be in a better position to develop effective teams of people, acquire top performers, and resolve conflicts. In his book, Lynn shares these three basic propositions. Let me know if you can identify with any of these things. Number one, every business problem is a people problem. Number two, what I don't know about myself controls my life. And number three, what we don't know about people around us dictates the success of our business teams. All in all, when emerging executives discover their personal core values and work for companies that invest in their professional development, it fosters a great sense of engagement for them and invigorates their leadership impact. So hopefully you have ascertained that creating core values can really invigorate your leadership impact. Now, what do we have right here, right in front of you? So from the same personal core values masterclass, I've created an infographic, and this infographic is entitled How to Create Your Personal Core Values using these 6 steps. So let's walk through them really quickly. So the first step is to create a master list of 8 to 10 internal values. This is your opportunity to think deep, dig deep, and look deep within yourself. Now, if you need some help, if I have an opportunity to work with you, I will be able to share over 250 personal core values with you that you can pull off of a shelf. And so that is in the Rebirth You Masterclass. But you could just make a list, pull some words that you feel resonate with you, and then the second step is to chunk your values into related groups. And then highlight the central theme of each group. So what this might mean is if you value productivity, you'll work with a number of words that sound like being productive and efficient. If you have a value around innovation, you might work with values related to stretch your thinking, innovation. So basically you want to highlight the theme of the value that resonates with you and look for words to describe that. And then the fourth step is to focus on what you value the most. Keep that in mind. This is about you. You don't have to serve anyone else. You don't have to make anyone else feel comfortable because this is about you. And number 5, you should craft the list of the 3 to 5 personal core values. I suggest not going past 5 because you won't remember them and neither will anyone else. And the last step is to use those final 3 to 4 values to create memorable phrases or sentences to bring each value to life. And I'll show you what that looks like right now. So for example, these are my personal core values: avant-garde authenticity, 10, favor, and global mindset. So because I run Brand Rebirth, my leadership development and brand strategy agency, these 4 personal core values are the same values for Brand Rebirth. But for the sake of you working within a company, it is still important to establish your core values. Avant-garde authenticity for me means pushing the boundaries, which is synonymous to avant-garde, breaking the status quo, spreading new authentic ideas, and empowering others to think before conforming for the mutual benefit of anyone or of any company. The 10 refers to the idiom, measure 10 times and cut once. And the reason why I selected this is because my maternal grandfather, who was from Trinidad and Tobago in the Caribbean, was a carpenter. And he believed in being accurate, being thorough. And he passed that down to my mother, and she passed it down to my sister and I. And this great value of being thorough and whole-brained and just being thorough has been passed down to me. So I value it. So in a business context, what this means is using whole brain, using both your left and your right side of your brain, welcoming in divergent thoughts, and doing all of this work up ahead of time before arriving at a hypothesis, before making, as a precursor to making a strategic decision or recommendation. So 10 is about being thorough. Favor, I value favor because it's a core value that I was raised with. And what this means for me is that I desire to have God's grace, His blessings, His mercy and protection in how I operate my business and how I operate my life. I want to have His blessing. The global mindset for me means that we really should embrace being global citizens, being interconnected and interdependent with people from around the world as a means of survival. No one business, industry, or country is self-sustainable, and neither am I. So I need you and you need me, and I believe that those who change the trajectory of business and society will come from all over the globe. So when I work with you, I am pulling in perspectives from my experience of traveling to 40 countries and working in different cultures and time zones, because I've learned a lot, and I